Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Su.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to talk about how to get your content into Google's featured snippet. So what does that mean exactly? When you're searching what is content marketing, for example, or what is inbound marketing, the little snippet that you see that pops up, sometimes it's going to be the first result actually. That is known as the featured snippet. And that could be, some people in the SEO space call it ranking 0. I will say this, more than anything, there's more literature that should be read around this. And there was a post actually that I read yesterday when I was on a plane from Moz. Somebody wrote about how basically they studied, I think, over 1.4 million featured snippets, and here are the key takeaways. So I highly recommend reading that one first. There's only so much we can get done in 10 minutes in a podcast. But if you want to do it, for example, if you're looking at, I remember, I'll go back to Moz as an example, the beginner's guide to SEO. When people were searching for that, somebody else was actually ranking higher than them because their post was more optimized for the featured snippet. So what they did is basically you have your H1 tags. So these can be like your subheadings. And then you have like a paragraph right after, right? So you have your subheading. It might be like, what is SEO as a subheading? That's an H1, right? And then afterwards, you might have a couple sentences talking about what SEO is. So you just want to organize it that way. Maybe like the paragraph is right after, and then the what is SEO portion. And then from there, you can start to, be featured in the snippets. And that's exactly what they did, where they just made a couple of adjustments, optimized it a little bit for the search engines, and then all of a sudden they started ranking higher in terms of taking over that featured snippet. So they had the featured snippet and they had the number 1 organic ranking, and their traffic went up.
So the other thing to think about rich snippets is you tend to only show up when there's some sort of question that could be answered. Google's not going to put these rich snippet feature boxes when people aren't answering a question. So it's not only important to answer questions within your blog post, but you have to target the right keywords or phrases. For example, any type of phrases that involve like how to, what is, or how do, or how does, right? Those are the main 4. How to install a toilet. What is SEO? How do you bake a cake? So take those 4 phrases, how to, what is, how do, how does. If you can do that and then you can answer questions based off of that, you're much more likely to rank higher. So just think about what people type in that's related to your field. You can use any keyword tool like Google Keyword Planner to find other phrases related to these 4 areas like how to, and then type in keywords like how to rank number 1 on Google, for example, right? So once you answer a lot of these questions, use the heading stuff that Eric was talking about, you're much more likely to get included for rich snippets. But the moment you're not answering questions, you'll find that you're not going to be placed in any of these boxes because they won't exist. Like, for example, if you just type in Apple iMac, there's no rich featured SERP snippet at the top. Why? Because people aren't answering or asking questions about an Apple iMac. It has to be question oriented. And if you're still unsure how to find really popular questions within your space, go to Quora, go look up keywords within your space, go look for the most popular questions, and go create blog posts around those questions, and you'll find that you'll be much more likely to be placed in one of these featured boxes.
Quick breakdown right here. So the featured snippet overall breakdown, this is actually coming from that post directly. So if you're asking a question, for example, you have 3 different options actually when you're looking at a featured snippet. So you have the paragraph that Neil and I were kind of just alluding to. So if you ask like what is content marketing, you'll get like a paragraph of content describing what it is. And then there is an option to kind of read more if you want. So you go to the post. And then you have lists as well. So lists will be, obviously a numbered list from like 1 to 10, for example. And then you have a table. Tables are typically used for comparison. So just a breakdown of, when you're asking a question, for example, 92% of snippets will be paragraphs. 4% will be lists, and then 3% will be tables. Prepositions will be, typically 29% of those will be lists. And then for comparisons, 11% of the time, it's going to be tables. You have a lot of different options to look at. I do recommend looking at this post, and I also want to give you this additional tidbit as well in terms of optimal featured snippet links. If we're talking about paragraphs, for example, the maximum number of words that you want to have is 97. And then the average here says 45. And then for a list, you want to have a maximum of 8 items, average for 4.2. And then for a table, you want to have 3.6 rows average and then a maximum of 9. Again, it's hard for us to get you to visualize this here. But when someone does a study for 1.4 million snippets, I think it's stuff that we do want to get to because it's good data. So Neil, do you have anything else you want to add to this?
Sure, and here's something from WordStream. When they were analyzing snippets, they figured that snippets are most likely pulled from 70% of them are pulled from results that rank number 1, 2, or 3 on the first page of Google. And the rest of them, 30%, roughly come from positions number 4 all the way to position number 71 on Google. So if you're trying to figure out, hey, how do I get in this snippet box? Well, go look at all your rankings or pages that rank the highest. Go to Google Search Console, look for all the keywords, click the positions box, and it'll show you all the keywords that you rank for and what positions. Try to optimize the pages in which you have a lot of number 1, 2, or 3 positions, or in essence, rank on page 1 for a lot of the terms that you're going for.
And final note, you can always use a tool like SEMrush. I think it does show you which snippets you're showing up for. I think Ahrefs also shows you that too as well. Neil, have you seen that?
I haven't seen that, but I'm going to check it out now.
For those of you that want to mess around with SEMrush, they do let you kind of do like a trial where you can get like a stripped down version. So I do think you can use SEMrush for that. Anyway, that's it for today's episode of Marketing School. We'll see you tomorrow.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.